Hi, everybody. Hopefully, we'll get some people that'll get to hear this story today. We got another story. Told a couple already. Hopefully, you got to see those. They should still be on the Milledgeville Public Library IL Facebook page. If you want to see them, you can look them up. Today's story is a story that comes from the Native American tradition. There's lots of different Native American people groups that have this story, that they use it. So this story is kind of from all different kinds of Native American people groups, and it's called How the Chipmunk Got His Stripes. I'm sure some of you have probably seen chipmunks. They have little stripes down their backs. They look a lot like squirrels, kind of, sort of, but they've got stripes and squirrels don't. So this is a story of how the chipmunk got his stripes. Once, long ago, in the autumn, towards the end of the day, Bear was walking through the woods, and he was feeling pretty good today. So he was bragging while he walked. I'm the biggest animal. I'm the loudest animal. I'm the strongest animal. I am Bear. I can do anything. Well, as he kept walking down the path, saying the same thing, I'm the biggest. I'm the strongest. I'm the loudest. I am Bear. I can do anything. Suddenly he heard a little voice say, "Can you really do anything?" He looked around, and there was a little brown squirrel right down there on the ground. And little brown squirrel said, "Can you really do anything?" And Bear said, "I'm the biggest, the strongest, the loudest of all the animals, and yes, I can do anything." "Can you tell the sun not to get up in the morning?" "Well, I've never tried, but I'm the biggest, I'm the strongest, I'm the loudest, and I can do anything. So yes." So Bear turned to the west, where the sun was just starting to touch the horizon, and he said, "Sun, do not come up tomorrow morning." And the sun disappeared behind the horizon. And Bear said, "You see, the sun is afraid of me because I'm the biggest, I'm the strongest, and I'm the loudest." He ran away. And little brown squirrel said, "But will it come up in the morning?" "Course not." Bear turned around and he faced the east, where the sun comes up in the morning. And Squirrel turned around and faced the east, where the sun comes up in the morning. And they both sat down side by side to wait and see if the sun would come up tomorrow morning. Well, as they were sitting there, have you ever sat somewhere waiting for something? It's kind of boring. So Bear began to chant. The sun will not come up. The sun will not come up. The sun will not come up. And the little brown squirrel chimed in. The sun is going to rise. The sun is going to rise. The sun is going to rise. And so the other animals in the forest, as the night went on, started to hear. The sun will not come up. The sun is going to rise. The sun will not come up. The sun is going to rise. And so they came to find out what was going on. The fox and the owl and the hawk and the bear and the beaver and the otter and the badger and all of the little mice and the rabbits, and everybody started to come. All of the deer, all of the elk, all of the moose, they all started to gather because they all wanted to know what was going on. And when they got closer, everybody else started to tell them what was going on. And then they all stayed because they wanted to know who was going to be right. Was the sun going to come up? Or was the sun not going to come up? They needed to know. Well, after a while, the sun will not come up, The sun is going to rise. The sun will not come up. The sun is going to rise. The sky started to get a little bit lighter. Some of the animals started saying, is the sun coming up? Or is the sun not going to come up? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Will the sun come up? Well, the sky started to turn a little bit red, and then a little bit pink, and a little bit orange, and then the sun came up. And all of the animals were so happy and excited the sun came up! Except for Bear. Bear was grouchy because the sun came up, even though he told it not to. Well, the happiest animal was Little Brown Squirrel, because he had been right and Bear had been wrong. But Little Brown Squirrel was so happy and so excited that he forgot something that his grandmother had always told him. And that was that it is good to be right. But when someone else is wrong, it is not good to tease them about it. And so Little Brown Squirrel started saying, Bear is foolish, the sun came up. Bear is silly, the sun came up. Bear is stupid, the sun came up. And that's not a very good thing to do when someone is grouchy, especially a bear. And suddenly, whoop! Little Brown Squirrel was pinned to the ground as Bear had put his paw on top of him. And he said, yes, the sun came up. But you're not going to see it come up again tomorrow because I'm going to eat you. And Little Brown Squirrel thought really fast. You know what? You're right to eat me. I shouldn't have teased you about being wrong. I would really like to say sorry, but I can't breathe. And Bear said, that's a good idea. I would like to hear you apologize. Perhaps I can pick up my paw a little bit. That would be great. So Bear picked up his paw, but instead of apologizing, Little Brown Squirrel took off, running as fast as he could go, running to the little pile of stones where he had his nice warm burrow because he wanted to get away from Bear. He didn't want to be eaten. He was running and running and running. He ran really fast. But you know what? Bear was faster than he looked. And right before Little Brown Squirrel jumped into his burrow, Bear caught him and scratched him from the tip of his head all the way down to the back of his tail. Big, long scratches from Bear's claws. And Little Brown Squirrel zipped into his hole, and he ran down into the hole, and he said, Grandma, I forgot what you told me, and I teased Bear when he was wrong, and he scratched me, and it hurts. And Grandma said, well, Little Brown Squirrel, I told you not to tease people. Why don't you curl up here and sleep through the winter, and all of your scratches will heal. And he said, okay, Grandma, I'll do that. And so he curled up next to his grandma, and they slept through the winter while his scratches healed. Well, in the spring, when it got warm again, like it's starting to do now, Little Brown Squirrel and his grandma climbed out of their little burrow, and Little Brown Squirrel looked at himself and, oh, all of those scratches had healed into long, pale stripes down his back. He was no longer Little Brown Squirrel. Now he was Chipmunk, the stripy one. And every day, Chipmunk is one of the first people to wake up in the morning. And he climbs out of his burrow, and he goes up to the tallest place he can find, and he chirrups, the sun came up, the sun came up, the sun came up, the sun came up. And every day, Bear is one of the last people up in the morning because he doesn't like to hear squirrel song because it reminds him that no one, not even Bear, can do anything. So that's the story of how the chipmunk got his stripes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you share this story with all your friends. And let's see, on Friday at about 3 o'clock, right here on the Milledgeville Public Library IL Facebook page, we're going to tell you the story, I know, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. We'll tell you that story on Friday at 3 o'clock. We'll see you then, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Get outside and enjoy the warm weather tomorrow. Bye!